We learned a few things from this government shutdown. I think one of the things we learned is the Democrats are a piss poor representative of the American people. You know, the establishment Democrats, led by this phony fucker, Charles Schumer. I hate to go off on Democrats because what's the alternative right now? The Nazis. But if you want to continue to be a Democrat, you know, have at it. A lot of people do. A lot of people are saying, I'm not going to give up the Democratic Party. I said that in August or September of 2016, before the election. I said that to try to make it clear that I was not going to have anything to do with putting this rotten son of a bitch Donald Trump and all of his liars in office. Didn't work. He still got in. Anyway, the 60-hour shutdown provided some lessons if we want to pay attention. Number one, Democrats had less leverage than many of them believed. They don't control a single branch of government, and therefore Democrats couldn't force Republicans to codify a DREAM Act by using the government shutdown. The Republicans just said, go fuck yourself. It didn't make any difference if the shutdown was for 60 hours or 60 days. And enough Democrats didn't quite have the appetite for a long fight either. They just folded like a goddamn camp bed. Number two, the weaker hand the Democrats had was particularly true once Lindsey Graham and Jeff Flake, Republicans, said they'd vote to keep the government open. Senate Democrats, including those from red and purple states, had some cover when a handful of Republicans also opposed keeping the government open. But they lost that cover when Graham and Flake punked out and went the same route as these weak-kneed Democrats did. Number three, Democrats preserved their ability to do this again after February 8th. Democrats can use the leverage they have, even though it's less than they think they have, if there's still no deal by next month. Had they not retreated this time, they would have had to stick it out under a worse political environment. Well, worse for who? Worse for who? This country's going to go down the sewer anyway. You know that. I hope I get to some of the stuff that I have here for tonight. Number four. The DACA battle will be the dominant political storyline over the next 17 days and maybe beyond. There'll now be even more focus on the beneficiaries of the DACA program and what will happen to them if the program is indeed ended on Trump's deadline on March 5th. Now, the Democrats, Chuck Schumer, who's a minority leader, I guess, isn't he, in the Senate? Yeah. Chuck Schumer extracted a promise from one of the biggest fucking liars in U.S. government, Mitch McConnell. And the promise was kind of weak tea anyway, as they say. And that was that McConnell would allow debate and discussion on the Senate floor about the DACA Act. McConnell will allow it. And that's one of the outstanding elements of the deal that the Democrats cut with these Nazis. Oh, they're going to let us talk on the Senate floor. Oh, joy. Let's re-up the government. You stupid shits. Number 5. Trump had nothing to do with any of these negotiations. He was missing in action. And he's going to remain that way, at least until any DACA action reaches the House, where Trump will come out of the shithole where he hides in with his Twitter machines blazing and give cover to the Republicans who are going to say no as far as DACA is concerned. Number 6, there is still a governing caucus in the Senate it stretches from Republican Senators Jeff Flake, who's soon going to be gone, Lindsey Graham, Susan Collins, to Democratic Senators Joe Manchin and Claire McCaskill, along with Angus King, an independent who caucuses with Democrats. That's supposed to be a coalition able to produce bipartisan compromise. I don't think I wouldn't call Joe Manchin a Democrat anyway. Just wouldn't. Number 7, it's unclear and doubtful if that same governing caucus exists in the House. No, it's not unclear. No, it's not doubtful. It's cast in goddamn concrete. There is no governing caucus in the House unless it's the terribly misnamed Freedom Caucus. Those are the Nazis, the real Nazis. Number 8, if 800,000 Dreamers do get deported after March 5th, you'll know who to blame. Oh, that helps. While Trump rescinded the DACA program, he also sometimes talked like he wanted a solution for these kids. It's doubtful he'll get the benefit of the doubt the next time around, especially after his filthy language was heard around the world. Number 9, I think this is the last one, isn't it? Yeah. We still don't know who's negotiating for the White House. Yes, we do. That little Nazi Jew, Stephen Miller. Only he's not negotiating. He's like an earwig, you know. He gets in Trump's ear and whispers this Nazi shit. You know, if anybody should be ashamed, mortified about this asshole, I was going to say it should be America's Jewish community, but that doesn't make any sense because I'm sure, well, maybe it does. The Jews have always had, except for Palestinian issue. In my opinion, Jews have always had, or they exist on a higher moral plane than Christians. I just feel that way. They have a more ethical sense. They have gone through enormous genocidal suffering in the same manner that African Americans have gone through. You know, the Christians, other than a few moments in Rome when the lions were eating them, have never, they've been the force for evil around the planet, not the force for good. They're the ones, the Christians, not the Jews, not the Muslims, who spread disease and darkness and death and sickness all over the fucking planet. There I go again. But Stephen Miller, the little, you called him the pimple? Pimple. He is just too much of a Joseph Goebbels. I'd like to see him dressed up in an SS uniform. I bet he has one. What do you want to bet? I bet he dresses up at home. You talk about, you know, self-hating Irish, self-hating Italian, self-hating Catholic, self-hating Jew. self-hating African American. We've all heard those terms. Stephen Miller defines a self-hating Jew. So we do know who is manipulating this lard-ass bastard in the White House. It's the Nazi Jew, Stephen Miller. And, Ivanka Trump, I read today Ivanka Trump is trying to get Kelly fired. Trump's primary, what was Kelly? Chief of Staff. Yeah. Ivanka, bless her, perfectly coiffed and beautifully dressed Ivanka, she doesn't like him. So he's gone. It may take a week or two, but he's gone. I can't get over that little fucker, Stephen Miller, though. I just, I really can't. Now, the only thing good that's happened, as far as I'm concerned, over the weekend was that CHIP, the Children's Health Insurance Program, got funded for the next 6 years. Now, the Republicans let CHIP expire 114 days ago, the filthy bastards. And then the CHIP program, Children's Health Insurance, became a bargaining chip in negotiations over the federal budget and immigration. Isn't this a great country? We will fucking bargain using the health or sickness of children. Isn't this wonderful? Aren't you fucking proud to be an American? Huh? Hey, but the Patriots won in the AFC, right? Aren't you proud to be an American, knowing that the leadership of this country, to the last fucking man and woman, are liars? And that in a crucial negotiation about whether or not to keep this goddamn government running, these people, Democrats and Republicans, will use children's health as a bargaining chip. These filthy, filthy, stinking Republicans who just shed crocodile tears, they're all phony, over fetuses. Oh, fuck, will they just do anything to protect a fetus? Not that they give a shit about a fetus, but they know that there are millions of people out there who do. I love fetuses, little ugly little fucking mass of cells. I just love them. But when it comes to real live living children, not parasitic masses of goddamn blood and whatever the hell else is in there, but real children, Republicans couldn't care less. This is where their Nazi streak really stands out. Because the Nazis didn't give a fuck about children either, about Jewish children or other minority groups in Germany. Just sent them right into the fucking ovens. Didn't care. Oh, look at the cute little kid there. That path there, little boy. Go with your mother. Bye. Miserable sons of bitches.